Hello Extra Jeffers. This video was supposed to go on the main channel, but it ended up not going there because turns out that this SCP wasn't quite the sort of spooky story that I feel fits there. So instead of wasting a bunch of time cutting this down and then not using it for anything, or wasting no time and just deleting the footage altogether, I instead decided to use one of these AI tools that help you just take out bad takes and edit out all the silences and put it here on Extra Jeff. So for you, the smaller, loyal group of second channel subscribers, you're gonna be eating good tonight, because this was made to go on the main channel. Again, it would have been a bit tighter in the edit. It might be a little bit janky now because the AI did it, but it's still, you know, a whole SCP reading with decent audio and a little nice looking intro. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Happy New Year! I hope 2024 has started off well for you. Personally, I wouldn't know, because I'm recording this in 2023. And I'm doing that because I've heard before that January is a bad month for content. Most creators are busy around the holiday season. They hang out with family, don't work on videos, and sometimes stop shaving. Oh, that's such good ambience. Can you see the cat? I don't know if you can, and I can't move because I'll be out of focus. Furthermore, I made a documentary last year. I guess not last year since you're in 2024. I made a documentary a while ago about the Gävle goat. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the goat didn't burn 2023, but we are having a pretty interesting bird situation that is going on right now as of me recording this on December 19th. You may also know that I've made it into something of a summer special to read SCP stories on this channel. It's a way for me to get to have a vacation for a few weeks, but still put a video out, because they don't take nearly as much work and time as when I have to, you know, write them myself. And today I was looking into how it's going for our goat friend this year when I stumbled upon an SCP entry about the Gävle goat. So I thought, what better way to start off the year and trick the algorithm into thinking that I have a way more frequent upload schedule than to read that for you here today. Not that my usual videos look great, but this one is gonna look extra not great. I'm gonna use my streaming camera with a fake green screen background thing, and I'm gonna put myself in a corner, the text is gonna roll down, and I'm just gonna read it straight up. I'm going in blind, by the way. I haven't read it myself yet. But that's it. That's the video. I hope you're having a great start to the year. I hope you'll enjoy listening to my reading. And in the next video, things will be back to normal, whatever that is. Thank you for watching. Let's begin. SCP-7904. Containment Class. Euclid. Disruption Class. Kenneck. Risk Class. Warning. Special Containment Procedures. Foundation personnel are annually assigned to SCP-7904 with the goal of ensuring that it receives significant fire damage between December 13th and December 31st of each year. Personnel assigned to this task are to ensure that the actions taken to result in the burning of 7904 are indistinguishable from mundane acts of arson. Efforts to identify the creators of 7904 are still undergoing. A cover story of it being the creation of local community groups has been disseminated and accepted by the general public. Should Foundation efforts to burn 7904 fail, MTF Theta 7, Goat Herders, is to mobilize to 7904's location and monitor for potential Getens Natt event. Should one occur, personnel are to amnesize any civilians present and attempt to track and contain any entities released by 7904. Description: SCP-7904 refers to a large straw figure of a Swedish Yule goat constructed annually on the first day of Advent in Gävle, Sweden. 7904's is resistant to attempts at destruction, but has proven to be flammable. Should 7904 remain standing past December 31st, it will undergo a Getens Natt event. Getens Natt events consists of the following general progression. 7904 will begin channeling large amounts of thaumaturgic energy to its location. An extra-dimensional hole will open within 7904. 2 to 6 nameless creatures will exit the portal before breaking free of 7904 and fleeing. While Foundation efforts thus far have been unable to recapture any fleeing creatures that have emerged from 7904, the Foundation has been successful in destroying or severely damaging 38 out of the 57 7904 instances constructed. Addendum 1. 2 individuals are sitting in a site conference room. One is a slim older man, Dr. Daniel Ashworth. He sits with his hands folded. Across from him is a large, muscular man with a demonic appearance. He has 2 small horns, red skin, and a large tail. Dr. Caraway. They sit in awkward silence for a moment before Ashworth finally speaks.
The way you're all tensed up tells me no one told you why I wanted to speak.
Caraway nods, then shakes his head. He appears to think for a moment, then nods once more.
I don't have a clue what the hell that's supposed to mean. Yes? I mean, no. No one told me anything. All they said that someone from Site 120 was here for me.
Ashworth pinches the bridge of his nose.
Okay. We'll keep it as brief as possible then. Are you familiar with this anomaly?
Ashworth passes Caraway SCP-7904's file photo.
Isn't that the goat thing that people are always trying to burn? That's an anomaly? Yes, and it isn't random people, it's our people. Anyway, we need you to ensure that SCP-7904 is burnt this year, so we'll be getting you on a flight to Sweden and... Hold up. You need me to do what? Burn the goat. Every year a member of Foundation personnel is tasked with burning 7904. We've been cycling people out annually to try and avoid suspicion. Different people, different faces. It makes it easier to avoid getting caught and keeps us from having to dip into amnestic supply. That said, training a new person each year doesn't always lead to great results and people get sloppy. And that's bad? I'll make sure you get access to the file later, but simply put, it's a pain in the ass for everyone if the goat doesn't burn. Not just for us, but for the general public as well. The goat didn't burn in 2014, and then one of the biggest headlines of 2015 is Fairies accused of mysterious accidents from a paper called Arbetarbladet. Damn thing doesn't burn at all between 2017 and 2020, and we completely lose track of a city.
Ashworth sighs. Caraway is visibly tense.
You lost track of a city? Simply put, we want to take advantage of the fact that you're a shapeshifter and make this your duty. You pretend to be a new person each year and you get properly trained in burning the goat. Like an entire city? Did it just disappear? Or... Focus, please. Sorry. How can it be so hard to burn one goat, though? You'd be surprised. Someone out there really wants that thing to stay standing. Anyway, we already have your flight lined up, so you interested? You don't actually have a choice here, but I figured I'd ask anyway.
Caraway pauses for a moment, in thought.
I suppose so. Could be a nice change of scenery, I guess. Work's been crazy in here lately, and I could use a job where someone isn't trying to maul me, literally and figuratively.
Ashworth reaches his hand across the table. Caraway grasps it, and the two shake. Ashworth's eyes glance to a tattoo on Caraway's shoulder.
Want to make sure that thing's covered. It's cold for one, but we don't need to draw extra attention.
Addendum 2. Gävle, Sweden. How fucking long is this thing? Holy shit, it's so fucking long. Oh no. Oh well. Gävle, Sweden. Caraway approaches SCP-7904. His demonic appearance is gone, replaced with unassuming standard human features. He's dressed in a thick coat and scarf. He pulls back a glove to check a smartwatch on his wrist. Alright, Cyril. Do a quick scan of the goat so we can toast this thing and get out of here. His watch flashes, and a quiet voice responds. So what the fuck is Cyril? Okay, it's an AI.
Aside from the obvious double fence and posted guards, SCP-7904 is also coated in a layer of protective ice on top of a layer of flame retardant. On top of that, I've also found a 24-hour security live stream of SCP-7904 that appears to be actively monitored by security personnel, goat burning enthusiasts, and a dedicated community of pyrophiliacs. I can send you a live comment feed if you'd...
No, God, no, especially not with that last group present. Any weak points that stand out?
Scanning. There seems to be an area on the lower back left leg that was insufficiently covered and constructed from notably dry straw. Not only will it light fairly easily, but a fire started there should spread to the internal structure fairly easily. I have already contacted the Site 58 AI department about taking down the online monitoring. Getting past the guards and fences will be a different matter.
Caraway looks around. It's later in the day and most of the crowds have dispersed. Several guards remain posted around SCP-7904 regardless. No kidding. Let's get a better look. Caraway turns in place without looking, colliding into another man behind him. He staggers back, surprised, but begins slipping on a patch of ice. Before he is able to fall over backwards, the other man catches him and holds him perpendicular to the ground. Oh, shit! Caraway's face is flush as he straightens himself back up. Really sorry about that. Wait, shit, you probably don't even speak English.
Distracted by Gävlebocken, right?
Oh, you do speak English. Sorry for assuming, and sorry for crashing into you. I'm Farron Caraway. Caraway extends a stiff arm out to the other man with a pained grin on his face. The other man laughs and shakes Caraway's hand.
Mikael Karlsson. And don't apologize so much, friend. Simple mistake, nothing to work yourself over.
Karlsson glances towards the barcode tattoo on Caraway's wrist.
Interesting tattoo you have. Do you really like shopping?
Caraway pulls his hand back and covers his wrist with his sleeve, holding his arm to his side. It's the barcode for my mom's favorite cookie brand. I got it to remember her.
Oh, so sorry for your loss.
Oh, she's not dead. She's just American. I mean, in America. Fuck. Can we just start this whole conversation over?
Sure, take 2. What brings you here, Faran?
Caraway turns towards SCP-7904. I've just always wanted to see the goat in person is all. Thing's legendary.
Now, the real question is, why do you think it's legendary? There's a right answer here.
Aesthetically. It's an amazing piece of local folk art. It is local, right? Someone from town makes it.
Ding ding, you answered correctly. It's nice to hear a tourist actually appreciate it for its looks instead of trying to burn it down. It hurts to put all that work into building it just to watch it burn.
You built it then?
No idea who builds it, but they have good taste.
Karlsson laughs. That said, you were looking at it earlier pretty closely. Something catch your eye? I just noticed that that leg back there seemed a little unprotected, yeah? Not a lot of ice and stuff on it? Karlsson's eyes narrow towards SCP-7904 as he appears to examine the surface. After a moment, he whistles for a guard. The two speak for a moment in Swedish, and the guard opens a gate in the fences. Karlsson steps through and motions for Caraway to follow. What, for real?
Mm-hmm. Show me what you're talking about.
How can he even get back here? Isn't this place like super off limits?
To the tourists and rabble, maybe. But when you help organize the event, they tend to let you go where you ask. Now let's get that weak point patched up.
Karlsson removes a large bag from his back and takes out 2 large spray cans. He looks to Caraway expectantly. Caraway hesitates before pointing to the area noted by Cyril prior. Karlsson reinforces the area with flame retardant and water.
Perfect. I have to thank you, Faran. You've got a good eye. Maybe she'll survive the year this time.
Yeah, no problem. Karlsson leaves. Caraway seems to smile.
You fucking idiot.
Huh? What's wrong?
You literally just worked with a guy to make it harder to do your job, Caraway.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
We have 3 days to burn this goat thanks to that layover in Barcelona. Now I have to completely redo the plan we had.
Don't worry so much. I saw how the guard opened the gate. We can get back in later tonight or tomorrow and torch this thing easy. Come on, don't grumble at me. Just do a fresh scan when you get the chance and tell the AI guys to not kill the stream yet.
Fine. But next time try to not get so easily distracted.
Addendum 3. Caraway approaches 7904. He carries a small bag across his back and a hammer in his right hand. This feels unsubtle.
Listen, I did 5 scans of the goat. Thanks to your stunt yesterday, the only way to get this thing burning is to ship away the ice. Your new friend from yesterday did some more touch-ups, and it's as fire retardant as ever. How is it that a Foundation-made AI designed specifically for coming up with field strategies can't come up with a better plan than hit it with a hammer? How is it that a contained anomaly with a Foundation doctorate was unable to burn a goat after being given clear and direct instructions on how to do it?
Fair enough. Where should I start here?
I spoke with Screamy already for some basic intel. According to it, there's going to be a guard shift in about 5 minutes, and during that shift, one of the guards is going to receive a breakup text from his wife.
Harsh. Not even in person?
That text will lead him to breaking down, and the next guard will be delayed for about 3 minutes while she consoles him. This will lead to a burgeoning romance that inspires them both to leave their jobs and start a ski chalet in the mountains together.
I love happy endings.
Regardless, those 3 minutes will leave us without any guards posted around SCP-7904. From there, the people at 58 will take down the livestream like we originally planned, which gives us total cover to get past those fences.
Which I know how to do thanks to yesterday's distraction, by the way.
And will give us a chance to smash a hole in it, light a match, and get out without being noticed. In the event that we are noticed, there's a section of the interior fencing near the opposite side of the gate that isn't hammered in properly. You can push that section down and slip out through there. Are you still with me, or was that too complicated?
I'm not an idiot, Cyril. I can follow.
Good. Here we go.
Caraway watches from a distance as the posted guard begins to leave his position. He takes out his phone as he leaves and lets out a sharp gasp.
Bingo. Alright, verifying with our people. And the stream is down. Time to move.
I hear ya. Caraway begins moving towards 7904. Before he can reach the gate, he's stopped by someone.
Faran? Huh?
Abort! Abort! Get out of there, Caraway!
Faran! Good to see you again.
The man approaches, revealing himself to be Carlson.
What are you doing here? And why do you have a hammer?
Oh.
Caraway attempts to unsubtly hide the hammer behind his back. In his attempt, he drops it.
I knew it. You're just another tourist here to destroy Gävle bocken, aren't you?
No. I would never do something like that.
Then why the hell are you here with a hammer?
Caraway sighs. I wanted to fix it.
So you snuck over here in the middle of the night to fix it?
I'm shy, okay? I don't like a lot of attention, and I just wanted to help.
That's awful sweet of you, actually. And once again, your perceptiveness astounds me. I was actually over here to fix that myself. Shall we go together?
Caraway nods, and Carlson leads him over to the fencing.
I have to say, I'm impressed that there's someone out there still willing to do kindness to strangers.
Well, I just like to feel useful, I guess. I gotta ask though, why didn't you just get a volunteer or maintenance crew out here to fix it when you noticed it?
I'm not the type of person who enjoys being cooped up in an office all day. If there's something I can do myself, I'd rather get it done myself instead of hassling others for it.
There's something satisfying about getting things done yourself?
Exactly. I don't get many chances to get my hands dirty, so I try to take the opportunities I get. It's nice getting to talk to other people and feeling like I'm contributing something. If nothing else, it gets me out of that stuffy office.
Caraway nods. Same here. I mean, I have plenty of chance to get my hands dirty, so that's not a problem here, but I never get to actually leave the office.
Oh, what kind of work do you do?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. No, I'm serious. If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Saying that might actually have already been too much.
Point taken. Sounds serious. Do you ever actually get to enjoy yourself?
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
And are you enjoying yourself?
Caraway looks up pensively, tapping his finger to his chin. I'm freezing cold, it's the middle of the night, and I'm repairing a fence with a random stranger I just met yesterday. Yeah, I'd say I'm having a good time right now. The two finish fixing the fence and stand up straight.
I'm glad to hear that, Faran. And I must thank you for your help here.
I gotta ask, how do you remember my name? Carlson shakes his head with a smile.
You stood out to me, and you have an unusual name, if you don't mind me saying. And your family name, Caraway, comes from the seed, yes? A simple plant with mildly toxic leaves, but whose seeds serve as delightful spices in rye bread commonly cultivated in East Slavic countries.
Wow, you really know your stuff.
I get bored and hit the random button on Wikipedia a lot. It's part of why I need to get out of the office whenever possible.
Holy shit, yes you do. That or someone needs to get you more work to do.
How about this then? Let me take you to dinner.
I'm sorry?
Like you just said, I need excuses to get out of the office, for one. Two, I'd like to thank you for your help in fixing Gävlebocken yesterday and for helping with the fence today. What do you say?
Sure, that sounds great actually.
Perfect. Here's my number. Text me later and I can give you the rest of the details.
Caraway and Carlson exchange contact information. Carlson leaves the scene with a wave. After he's gone, Caraway begins bouncing on his heels.
Holy shit, holy shit.
Holy shit is right. What is wrong with you? I explicitly said not to get distracted, and here you go making your job harder. Newsflash, Caraway, the goat isn't going to burn itself. We tried, it really won't.
Come on, Cyril, can't you just be happy for me here?
Listen, it's great you are able to get a date with a random hot Swedish guy, but there are bigger things to focus on here. You have a mission, and we are running out of time. We only have 2 days left to do this before we have a Jeppens Nuts event to contend with. You actually read the files Ashworth sent over, right?
Of course I did.
Which MTF is assigned to this anomaly?
Theta 7, Goat Herders.
Lucky guess. Caraway, we're at a point where we almost need to go for broke and just throw this watch over the fence and hit self-destruct. That's something we can do, but I'd rather not shift to a backup server.
There's an opportunity here we all benefit from.
Go on.
Michael is the event organizer, right? That means that he has to know who builds the goats every year. I meet him for dinner, I get that info out of him, we share some food and a few drinks, and the Foundation gets to track down those poles and detain them. Win-win, right?
That's actually not a bad idea, Caraway. I'm impressed.
I know, I'm full of good ideas.
Alright, I'll work on a new plan to burn SCP-7904 tomorrow. You go to that dinner and get that info out of Michael, and we'll discuss everything in detail later. And for the love of everything good, please don't make an ass of yourself.
Addendum 4. Caraway enters the restaurant. It's a small space, but only a few tables are occupied. Carlson catches his eye and waves him over.
Good to see you, Faran. Come, sit. Do you drink at all?
A little, only at special events and the like.
Carlson brushes the back of Caraway's hand. Caraway visibly tenses up.
Consider this a special event then, Mr. Barcode. I'll get us some mumma.
Carlson leaves for a moment before returning with 2 darkly colored drinks. He sets one before Caraway, who eyes it cautiously. He whispers to his watch.
What the hell is mumma?
Fancy spiced beer.
Did you say something?
Nothing. Sorry, I was just admiring this, mumma, you said?
You apologize a lot. Relax, Faran. It's Christmas and you're in one of the most festive places you could be. Take a load off and enjoy.
Carlson toasts his drink before sipping. Caraway follows.
So, you're in charge of the GOAT committee, was it?
GOAT committee? Not quite. I organize the event itself. I oversee the vendors, the construction of the Gävlebocken, getting local businesses prepped for the tourists.
You know who makes the GOAT?
Yes, I know who makes Gävlebocken. Is that surprising or something?
I just heard they were pretty secretive, is all. I was curious if you could introduce me.
Carlson chuckles and takes another sip of his drink.
It's just a local volunteer group. No one all that impressive. I've hardly met them myself anyway.
He shakes his head.
You hungry?
Yes, actually. I may have skipped lunch today before this.
How about inlagd sill? This place is probably the best place to get it in the country.
Caraway purses his lips.
And inglad sill is...
Ooh, it's a type of pickled herring, cured in salt, brined in vinegar, salt, sugar. How does that sound?
Bad, actually.
Carlson deflates a bit.
Yes, I suppose it is a bit of an acquired taste. Kroppkakor then. Trust me on this one, you'll enjoy it. I'll be right back.
Carlson stands and leaves for the restaurant's counter. Caraway's watch lights up.
You're making horrible progress here.
He doesn't have a clue who makes the GOAT. There's no progress to make.
He's hiding something, I know it. How does the organizer for this whole thing not have a clue who makes the centerpiece? The thing they have to funnel thousands of dollars into security measures for each year.
Dude manages hundreds of people. You're just being paranoid.
I'm an AI. I'm not programmed to be paranoid.
Michael is a perfectly nice guy. You're just overthinking things.
Fine, let's assume I am then. We need to get back to the mission and you need to burn that goat. You have 2 more days before New Year's. Tick tock.
Maybe I don't want to worry about that right now. Maybe I'm enjoying myself.
This isn't about you. This is about the mission.
I'll take care of it. Carlson returns with a plate of dumplings.
Were you talking to someone?
Just a work thing. I gotta be honest, I didn't come here to see the goat.
Gävlebocken.
Gävlebocken. This was a business trip. Oh?
What kind of business?
Government stuff, all black boxed. Honestly, telling you I was even here for business was probably too much.
No, I get it. I don't get to tell a lot of people about my work. So much of this festival goes into Gävlebocken's security at this point that it eats up all of my focus these days, and I can't even tell anyone about it because it's not all that secure if everyone knows about the security measures. It's a pain to keep a huge part of your life secret, you know?
Buddy, you have no idea. I literally can't share anything with anyone but my coworkers, and honestly, 90% of my conversations with them are just bitching about work anyway.
Exactly, like, we all love what we do, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But we have to vent to keep ourselves sane through everything. At the same time, though, there comes a point where your relationship is so defined by this spewing of negativity that you...
To resent them a bit, Carlson slams his hand on the table, mouth open in a slight smile.
Yes, that's exactly it. Sometimes you just want one person you can talk to that can hold a conversation about anything else, you know?
Trust me, I know. Caraway glances down to his tattooed wrist, covered by his sleeve.
You're a special guy, Faran Caraway. You strike me as the kind of person who leave an impression on people. Like you could go anywhere and find a place.
I'm glad you feel that way. Glad to know there's at least one person who thinks it.
How so?
Caraway averts his eyes, rubbing his left shoulder. Carlson is quiet and looks Caraway over before his eyes falls on Caraway's ears.
I've been meaning to ask, that earring?
Footnote 3. Despite being a shapeshifter, Dr. Caraway is required to maintain a visible identification tag on his person at all times, including field missions. Normally this tag is stuck to his tail, but when taking a form that lacks his tail, his tag is transferred to his left earlobe.
That earring? Is that supposed to be like a dog tag or something?
Caraway's hand shoots up to his tag and he runs his thumb over it for a moment. It's just a reminder of something is all.
Another cookie barcode. Grandma's favorite crackers, perhaps?
Michael, have you ever felt like an outcast? Like you're so different from everyone else around you that you don't have a place you're allowed to just exist as yourself?
I'm a gay man living in Sweden.
Caraway straightens up in his seat. Oh, you are? I mean, no, that's good. I'm glad you trusted me with that, but that's not quite what I... Carlson rests his hand on top of Caraway's.
I hope I'm not being too forward here, but I like you, Faran Caraway. You're interesting and you can hold a halfway decent conversation when you stop apologizing. I'm not making a false assumption here, am I?
Nope. You definitely have me pegged. I mean, understood. You figured me out.
If it's not too much to ask, mind coming home with me? Perhaps we can turn this from a business trip to a pleasure trip.
Caraway's watch flashes, illuminating his face. He is a deep crimson color. Sure, that sounds great, yes. Sorry, I need to just step out and take this call really quick. Be just a second, I'll be just a second. Carlson laughs as Caraway stumbles out of the restaurant. The hell do you want, Cyril?
Sorry to interrupt, Casanova, but while you were doing that, I came up with a new plan.
The goat burning again? I told you, I'd get to it as...
Just let you have your fun first, I know. Trust me, you having fun is needed for this plan. You get to enjoy yourself with the Swedish stud, and while he's passed out from that, we snoop around his house.
Why the hell would we do that?
I did some digging. Michael Carlson is the event organizer, we knew that already. He's also been doing all of his work from home for the past 4 years. That means all the documents and information related to the whole festival are in his house on his computer somewhere. You get me to it, I hop in, and I can get the documents that tell us who keeps making the goats. and figure out every single security measure they have on it this year. Using that, we burn the goat and take the people who made it into custody. Bam bing boom. Sound good?
No, that sounds bad actually. Michael seems to actually trust me, and I don't want to sneak behind his back after he invites me into his house. That would be shitty of me.
Listen, Caraway. When the higher-ups find out you've been faffing around with a civilian here instead of doing the task you were assigned, they'll throw you back in a containment chamber without even thinking about it. You'll lose your job, your doctorate, everything. If you're lucky, they'll keep you at Site-58, but realistically, they'll deem you an integration program failure and have you shipped off somewhere totally different.
Are you threatening me?
I'm trying to help you. Listen, I know I like to riff on you, but I'm being serious here. I don't want to see you lose everything if we can avoid it. I know this is going to feel like a shitty thing to do, but it's what we need to get done. I'll do my best to monitor everything so Carlson never even finds out, so you can even keep your boyfriend after this is said and done. Assuming we don't get caught burning the goat.
Caraway sighs. You're right, Cyril. Fine, I'll go along with this plan, but you better not mess up.
Same to you, Farron.
Addendum 5.
Stick to the plan, Caraway.
I get it. Don't remind me about work right now. Please. Caraway walks up to a house and gently knocks on the door. A muffled voice is heard from the other side, and after a few moments the door opens. Carlson is on the other side, dressed in a robe.
Hey, glad you made it. I was worried after you dashed out of the restaurant.
Work is crazy, what can I say? That said, Caraway holds up his watch and makes a dramatic show of turning it off. I'm off the clock now, Carlson smirks.
Please, come in, warm yourself up some.
Caraway enters and removes his jacket, gloves and hat, placing them on a small table near the door before shaking himself off. He looks around the home. It's sparsely decorated with very few items on the wall and only a few pieces of furniture.
Welcome to my abode. Please, make yourself at home.
Sure thing.
Something wrong?
No. This is great and all, but I don't know, doesn't it feel a little empty in here to you? Carlson's brow furrows. He looks around the room.
I'm not sure I understand.
Never mind. The two stand in awkward silence. After several moments, they both attempt to speak before stopping to allow the other to speak. This exchange continues for nearly a minute before Carlson takes control of the conversation.
Should I show you to my room?
Oh, are we going straight there? Like, right now?
Easy. We don't need to hop straight to things. We can just take it slow and feel it out as we go.
Carlson walks up behind Caraway and rests his hands on his shoulders. He rubs them gently as he guides Caraway down a hall and into a bedroom. The room is mostly empty aside from a bed and a wardrobe. Carlson sits Caraway down on the bed. Caraway opens his mouth as if to say something before burying his face in his hands. Carlson sits down beside him and rests a hand on his shoulder.
Hey, it's okay. Am I moving too fast here? We don't need to...
No, sorry, I'm just overwhelmed. I never expected to be in this position.
What do you mean? I mean, yeah, I'm sure lots of older virgins think that, but you don't need to feel bad about it. I can teach you...
No, it's not the virgin sex thing, You're almost a perfect stranger to me. I've known you for maybe 35 hours tops, but you are legitimately the first person who talks to me like I'm a normal person. You don't see me for how I could be used, or at least I assume you don't. God, look at me, blubbering like an idiot to a total stranger.
I don't think you're an idiot, for whatever that's worth. I don't feel like we're total strangers either. Sure, we may have not known each other very long, but I meant what I said at the restaurant. You're special, Farhan. I can sense it.
Caraway looks up and meets Carlson's eyes. The two gaze at one another for a moment before Carlson leans in to kiss. Caraway reciprocates, wrapping his arms around Carlson. The two continue to kiss for several minutes before Caraway stands and removes his shirt. Carlson stands to do the same before stopping and pointing to Caraway's left shoulder.
What's that? SCP?
It's just a tattoo.
Does the number mean something?
It's a personal reminder of something is all.
I hope you don't mind me saying I'm not a huge fan of this one. Makes you look a bit like a branded cow with that barcode tattoo. You should get something more artistic, like a butterfly or something.
Caraway gives a pained smile, but Carlson simply laughs in response. Carlson finally removes his shirt and pushes Caraway down to the bed. The following section has been redacted to protect the privacy of Dr. Farron Caraway. The full record can be requested from Site 58's Department of Anomalous Ambassadorship. Caraway and Carlson lay side by side in the bed, panting.
Was that good for you? It was good for me.
Yeah, it was good. You did fine. I told you it would be okay.
The two lean in and share a brief kiss.
Thank you for trusting me.
Caraway smiles.
You know what? Maybe you should move up here.
Whoa, slow down a bit there. I mean it.
I don't mean move up here to date me or move in. What I mean is I can tell that your work is draining you. Maybe you just need to get away from it, start fresh, somewhere new, pretend to be a new person, like a shapeshifter or something.
Right, like a shapeshifter or something.
It's just a thought, not something I want to pressure you into. Just think about it for a bit.
Carlson stretches and yawns.
Anyway, I'm going to sleep. Try not to wake up before me. Let me at least make breakfast for you.
Carlson lays down. After a few minutes, he falls asleep. Caraway carefully rises from the bed and stands, retrieving his watch from the wardrobe and stepping out. He turns the watch back on.
I need you to be fully aware of the fact that just because the watch is off doesn't mean I'm turned off. That was a horrible experience for me.
Quit complaining. Let's just get this over with. I'm pretty sure I saw his computer in the living room.
Caraway enters the living room. In the back corner is a desktop computer. He approaches it and sits, placing the watch next to the monitor.
Is good enough? I have no clue how you things work.
Proximity is good enough. I can connect.
Wait, why couldn't you just connect from the bedroom? Aren't you using like Bluetooth or something?
You already admit that you have no idea how I work. Just assume that if you do everything I say, things will work out alright.
Caraway leans back in the chair and sighs.
How long's this gonna take?
At least 5 minutes. 5 hours if you complain. Normally this would be an open and shut case, but there's some crazy strong security on these files. Keep an eye on your surroundings. I have to focus everything on cracking this thing.
Sure thing.
Caraway leans back in the chair once more and sits in silence, staring at the wall. After a few minutes, something strikes him on the back of the head, and he slumps over on the desk.
Aha! Got it. Alright, Caraway. Got the files we need. Just give me a minute to analyze this thing and...
The watch containing Cyril is smashed by an unseen object and removed from the desk. Addendum 6. Location unknown. Caraway sits alone in the dark. He is naked and has reverted back to his standard demonic form. He's covered in a dark fluid in several places across his body.
Footnote 4. Believed to be blood left as a result of his transformation.
And appears to be bound to a chair. After several minutes he raises his head and shakes it. He flexes his hands and struggles against the restraints with a look of panic on his face. The chair falls to the side and he lands in the snow on the ground. He shivers.
Please don't struggle too much here, Farron.
Who's there?
Carlson steps into the light. He is wearing dark robes wrapped with rings of red cloth matching the ornaments on SCP-7904.
Shit. Michael, is this like a kink thing? Because this is way too far for me. I'm sorry. I'm not really into the exhibitionism bondage thing. I don't really love the idea of other people seeing what...
No, what? God, no, it's not a kink thing. You're tied up here so you can't burn Gävlebocken, you Foundation asshole.
Foundation? What are you talking about?
Carlson pinches the bridge of his nose in frustration.
You can drop the act, Farron. Have you even bothered to look at yourself?
Caraway looks himself over with some difficulty. After a moment he moves his tail. His ears droop and a look of concern falls on his face.
Shit.
For what it's worth, this is probably one of the most clever plans you all have had yet. I mean, I was a little suspicious with the barcode tattoo, but the actual numerical designation tattoo really gave it all away. That said, I thought you were just a low-level reality bender or something. I never expected them to throw an actual shapeshifter of all things at this. By the way, you shapeshifting left a lot of blood on my floor. Was that a reaction to getting hit, or...?
Yeah, I tend to swap back to my usual form when people fucking beat me over the head with things. And it's a pretty painful process, gotta say. I feel like shit.
Do people often beat you or something?
It's happened once or twice.
Caraway shakes his head.
Anyway, can you please explain what's going on here? I figured out some of it, but I'm still missing pieces. I get that you're involved in the goats and...
Gävlebocken.
Yeah, whatever it's called, okay? I get that you're involved with the cult here, so it's safe to assume that you're the leader, right?
Well done, full marks.
Cool. Glad that's sorted. Now the part I don't get is the whole why factor. Why the hell do you all build a straw goat each year anyway? What's the point in trying to summon these people from the winter woods?
Impressive, you even know the protocol. You did your homework.
Foundation mandated. They want their tools to work properly.
They aren't going to like that I smashed this then, I suppose.
Carlson holds up the watch containing Cyril. The screen lights up for a moment before seemingly turning back off.
Cyril! God damn it.
Cyril? I get it, you had a helper.
Come on, Michael, answer my question. I don't get how a guy like you got wrapped up in all this, and I still don't get the point of this mess.
Because I'm like you, Faran. An anomaly.
Carlson smooths back his hair, revealing a small pair of horns.
I'm born from demons, and I've had these since day one. Everyone in my group is anomalous in some way. It's brought us together, but we've never truly had a place to belong in the mundane world. Not as ourselves, anyway. You get that, right?
Caraway is silent.
Look at yourself, Faran. The Foundation has you branded like cattle. Barcodes, tags, a number. Do they really see you as a person?
So what, you're gonna try and take the world over with Gävle?
What? No. The idea here is we release as many Winter Wanderers each year as we can, and eventually the Foundation can't control it anymore. The world is forced to learn about the anomalous, and people like us can finally walk in the light with humanity.
And what about the people who get hurt in the process?
Are you talking about that old traffic accident story? You realize that's the only major incident we've caused, right?
We lost an entire city.
An entire city?
Yep. Poof. Gone. We literally have no idea what happened to it.
Still, that's just 2 minor incidents.
Carlson leans down and places Caraway's chair back up.
Please, Faran, I know you were lying to me about a lot of things, but I know deep down you care about me. I can feel it. I care about you too, and I don't want whatever potential there might be between us to be lost over this. I want you to think about this long and hard. Do you really want to continue being a pawn of the Foundation, or do you want to play a part in making a world that people like us are free to exist in as we truly are?
You know what?
Caraway leans himself closer to Carlson and looks him in the eyes.
I do.
Really? You truly mean that?
Yeah, I do. I want to make this world with you.
Carlson opens his mouth as if to speak, before leaning in and kissing Caraway deeply. As the two kiss, Carlson undoes the rope binding Caraway.
You won't regret this, Faran. It's going to be amazing. Sorry about the ropes, by the way.
It's fine. I couldn't shift to get out of them anyway. Whole process hurts like a bitch, and you would have caught on right away. By the way, what time is it?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, it should be close to New Year at this point.
Hand me that watch. I should still be able to get the time working on it. That way we can do a countdown.
Sure. Here.
Carlson fishes the watch from his pocket and passes it to Caraway. Caraway turns it over and presses a few buttons on the side.
There we go. Let's see. 11:58 p.m. December 31st. Right on time then. Too bad we'll have to make our own fireworks.
What do you mean?
Sorry, Michael, but I can't betray the Foundation. They're not amazing, but they're the only real family I've ever known. Now, Caraway!
Before Carlson can react, Caraway throws his watch over the fence.
Eat it, pretty boy!
It lands on the stage holding 7904. Carlson pushes Caraway aside and begins running to retrieve the watch, but before he can reach it, it explodes, engulfing 7904 in flames. Carlson falls to the ground as Caraway rises back to his feet. He walks over to Carlson and leans down, planting a small kiss on his cheek as several bright searchlights illuminate the area. Several members of MTF Theta 7 goat herders arrive on the scene, guns drawn.
Happy New Year, Michael. This was fun. We should do it again sometime.